My name is J.Yamuna Bee, head of the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. I go to take the subject is data mining. So first we know what is data mining. So data mining is the process of extracting useful insights and knowledge from large data sets. That is the meaning of data mining. So the data sets may be any formats like Word or Excel or PPT, videos, images, like that. So you go to extract the information from the particular data set. So that one is called data mining. So that purpose, here we are applying some techniques, that is statistics, machine learning, deep learning, database system. So many techniques we go to use for data mining purpose. Okay. So this data mining concept is used in various places. For that one is the finance, healthcare, retail, banking, telecommunications, industry. So nowadays all people used this data mining concepts. Okay. So next we go to see what are the process of data mining. So here we use 6 steps of process of data mining. So the first one is data collections and integrations. So this one is very important. So you need to do one project, means first you go to identify the problems. After identification problem, you go to analysis. So before analysis, you go to collect the data. You go to collect the information from your related projects. So the data collection is very important. So the data collections contain large amount of data from various sources. Okay, so that one is very important. So after data collections, you go to integrate the data. So this one is the first step for process of data mining. The second step, data pre-processing. So what is the meaning of pre-processing? So this step include removing noise, handling missing values and transforming data into a suitable format for analysis. That is the meaning of data pre-processing. So you having so many collection of data or collection of informations. Okay. So that data contain so many missing values, null values, unwanted data, noise data. Some data are duplicate. Duplicate means same data will be repeated. So the collection of data contains these type of data: noise, missing values, null values, unwanted data, like that. Okay. So you go to remove that one. You go to remove that unwanted data. So that process is called pre-processing. So in classifications algorithm, the first step is the pre-processing. So you remove all unwanted data, duplicate data, null values or missing values. So the third step is pattern recognition and machine learning algorithm. So this technique is mainly used to identify the patterns within the data. So in machine learning algorithm, here you go to use some algorithms, machine learning using some algorithms. That one is the clustering, classifications and regressions. That one is the important algorithm used under machine learning. So the third data mining process is statistical analysis. So it is used to correlate the data. So what is the relationship between the data? So you go to find out it. The fifth step is evaluations and interpretations. This one is the testing process. So after the statistical analysis, you go to test the data. So that is in software engineering we call that one is the testing phase. So after identifies, it is important to check how relevant and significant they are. You go to find it. So mostly this is help us a business process. The sixth step is, that one is the final step, data presentations and visualizations. After testing, you go to present that one. That one is based on chart type or a dashboard or graph, anything. So here you use any tool. For example, Power BI, Tableau, that also used for visualization purpose tool, AI tool. Okay. So these are the process of data mining. So the next one, applications of data mining, where you go to use this technique. The first one is fraud detections. All of you know. Yes. So banking system, online purchasing. So you are facing some problems. Somebody's used the unauthorized persons detect your all informations. Okay. So that was the fraud detections, anomaly detections. Supply chain optimizations, these are used in the online purchasing. So the traffic management, these are the applications of data mining. The last one is financial market analysis. So the next one, advantages of data mining, that one is used in fraud detection and anomaly detection, risk management. Okay, so improved resource allocations, these are the advantages of data mining. So here we see what is data mining. So what are the process of data mining? So the next, what are the applications of data mining? The last we discuss the advantages of data mining. So next here we go to discuss the important topic is libraries. What are the libraries you go to use in Python? Okay. So especially here I go to discuss the main library is pandas. So first you need to know what is pandas. So the pandas is a Python library used for working with data sets. So the data mining and the pandas, you are using some libraries. Whatever you go to use, first you need data sets. So here first you know what is pandas, how the name became pandas. So the pandas has reference to both panel data and Python data analysis. So the pandas name is coming from the panel data and Python data analysis. So it was created by Wes McNee in the year of 2008. The pandas will be introduced. So the next, why we go to use the pandas? Okay, so the pandas allows us to analyzing big data and make conclusion based on statistical theories. What can pandas do? So the pandas do, is there a correlation between two or more columns or two or more rows? So you go to find out how to go to find out the average value, minimum value, maximum value. So that purpose, so the mathematical purpose, you are using this pandas. Okay. So the next one. So you know minimum value. What is the minimum value? So you list of values. So you go to find which one is the minimum, which one is maximum. Then what is, find out the average value. So that purpose you are using. So the next, this processes you go to do. So many tools are available. Here I take the best tool is the Jupyter Notebook. Okay. So here you go to first, you go to run the basic commands, basic Python programs. Then you go to install pip. Okay. So pip install pandas. After that you go to import. So import means you go to add include the libraries. So that the include in C, C++, you are using that word is include. Okay. So here in Java or Python you go to use that one is the import. So libraries you go to include in your program. So you are using the pandas libraries. Okay. So here you go to view import pandas. So now the library will be included in your program. So the next my data set, it is a variable name. My data set is a variable name. Here I take one example, that one is car. So my data set is a variable name. So cars, here I take 3 cars, BMW, Volvo, Ford, like that. The passings, so what are the value, here I go to pass. For example 3, 7, 2, like that. Then my data set, here you open and close it. Again you are using another variable, my variable, equal to this library pandas dot data frame. So data frame is denoted as DS. So the pandas, you are using the main concept is data frame. So my variable equal to pandas dot data frame. Inside the bracket you are using my data set. Here what are the date variable, here you are given, that one is you include. Finally you go to print this final, these pandas dot data frame, you go to my data set, finally you go to store in my variable, so print my variable. So this is the output. Here you see 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So total number of cars, how many? 3 cars. So the starting index value is 0, 1, 2. So BMW, Volvo, Ford, the passing value is here. Whatever you are given in the program, the output will be presented. So the table format, the output will be presented. So pandas as PD. PD is a alias name for pandas. Okay. So this one is the one basic example for creating the data frame. So here you give any example. Okay. So again one time I will repeat it. So here you are using the library is pandas. So import pandas. Here my data set is a variable name. Here you are taking one example cars. You give minimum 10 or 20 like that. Okay. Then passing values. You don't need to give this one. Only you go to give car name. Okay. How many rows and number of rows and number of columns depend upon your program. Okay. So the next another variable you take and you go to save pandas dot data frame. So my data set, then print this variable. So here the pandas as PD. Pandas is usually imported under the PD alias. Alias is what is the meaning of alias? It is another name that is called alias. Okay. So here that in Python alias are an alternate name for referring to the same thing. That is the meaning of alias. Okay. So the next one, another example. The same example will be here repeated. So import pandas as PD. My data sets, here you are giving this the same value and same this one. So here you are using pandas import pandas. Here you are using import pandas as PD. The same output will be given. Okay. So the next one. What is series? Series means the sequence of data is called what? Series. Okay. So a panda series is like a column in a table. So the table means what? The number of rows and number of columns is called table. Okay. So here import, here the example program is create a simple panda series from a list. So import pandas as PD. Here this one is the creating the series. Okay. Here A is a variable equal to it is the list format 1, 7, 2. So here you are creating another variable, my variable equal to PD dot series of you are passing this variable. So PD here you are using the alias name dot series of A. Then you go to print it. So here 0, 1, 2. Okay. So the value is 1, 7, 2. So what value will be here given, you go to here give it. So this is called what? Series. So series is a sequence of data. Okay. Table is here, it is a number of rows and number of columns. So here a equal to this one, my variable equal to pd dot series of this variable, that so this one is the output. So the next one is labels. So we discussed this one in the last. So here this one is the creating the bars. Okay, how do you go to create? In Word document, first you go to prepare the Excel sheet, then you go to select that one, then you go to click the chart, whatever you need that chart will be clicked it, you go to take that chart. That chart is a bar chart, pie chart, line chart, like that. Okay, so here you go to here using Python programming, how do you go to create the bar chart? Okay, using Python programming, how do you go to create the bar chart? So here the pandas, you are using only the data set, data frame concept. Okay, so you are creating this like a chart. Here you are using two things, two libraries, new libraries. That one is matplotlib. So mat is a mathematical, plot library. So the import numpy, so numberpy. So here you are using two things. The pandas is used for the data frames, creating data frames, number of tables and number of columns. Here you are creating the chart, bar chart, like that. So you are using two libraries, matplotlib, numpy. So here pyplot is called as plot, numpy is alias as np. So plt is a alias name of pyplot, np is a alias name of numpy. So two libraries you go to include it. So the next one, bar chart. Bar chart you need two axes, x axis and y axis. So, okay. So x equal to np. Here you are giving the range, yes, 0 to 100. Here you are giving some a to b, like that. So that purpose you are needing this numpy. So x equal to np dot array of, here you are taking list of values. So you are using the array concept. Okay. So np dot array of, here you are using the x axis contain a, b, c, d, like that. Here you write anything, hi, hello, or banana, apple, like that. Whatever you need you go to give it, but you give this format. Okay. So the y axis, whatever you go to display it, that value will be given here. So y equal to np dot array of some values. Okay. So finally plot dot bar of x comma y, plt, matplotlib, that is the alias name is plt dot bar of x comma y. Finally you give plt dot show off. It is very very important. Then only your bar chart will be displayed. So this one is the small example for creating the bar chart using Python programming. So this coding also you go to try in your Jupyter notebook. So it is very very easy and understandable. The chart type, visualization part, all will be done that Jupyter notebook only. Okay. So here I giving draw 4 bar. Based on this bar, here you are giving the x axis a, b, c, d. Okay. Drawing only 2 bar means you go to give a and b enough. So depend upon the bars you go to create the axis, x axis or y axis. So you placed it. Okay. So this one is the creating the bar chart. Next, how do you go to give the label name? How do you go to align the font size? How to go to align the font color? So you are adding some 1 or 2 lines for here. Okay. So this one is the creating the bar chart. So here we will see what is matplotlib. Already we discussed, in bar chart, the matplotlib is a library, numpy is a library. Here we go to discuss that one. So the matplotlib is a low-level graph plotting library in Python that serves as a visualization utility. Okay, so matplotlib is a low-level graph plotting library in Python that serves as a visualization utility. So the matplot was created by John D. Hunter. Okay, so whatever you go to learn, that one is the programming or libraries, anything, first of all you need to know the history of that one. So who is the author, which year, okay, what is the use, first you go to learn it. So the matplot was created by John D. Hunter. The matplot is a open source and we can use it freely. So the matplotlib is mostly written in Python programming language. The few segments only written in C language. Okay. So installation of matplot, the same the pandas pip. Okay. After you are using the pip, you go to directly include that one. Import matplotlib. So this one is the coding of, you go to find out the version of the matplotlib. So you write print matplotlib dot underscore version underscore. The final the output is this matplotlib version is 2.0.0. Okay. So here we see, draw a line in a diagram from position 0, 0 to position 6, 250. So the x-axis contains 0 to 6, the y-axis contains 0 to 250. So that is the question. Draw a line in a diagram. You are drawing first x-axis and y-axis, then you go to draw the line. The line ranges, the position is 0, 0 to position 6, 250. So the x-axis is 0, 6, the y-axis is 0, 250. First what we do, you go to include the libraries. So here you go to use two libraries. Import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. The second one, import numpy as np. Okay, you are taking x point or x anything. So x points equal to np dot array of 0, 6. Y points equal to np dot array of 0, 250. So the next plt dot plot x points, y points. Then you go to give plt dot show off. So this is the output. You are drawing line. So here you see 0 to 6 the range. Here the range is 0 to 250. So this one is 0 to 6. This one is 0 to 250. Okay. So this one is the drawing a line in a diagram from position 0, 0 to position 6, 250. Okay, so this is the output. So the next question, draw a line in a diagram from position 1, 3 to position 8, 10. So the x-axis is 1 to 8, the y-axis is 3 to 10. So import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, import numpy as np. So the x point, the range is 1, 8, y point is 3, 10. Then plt.plot of x points, y points. Then you go to show it. Okay, so this one is the output of that one. So this one is drawing the line. So the next one, plotting without line. So to plot only the markers. So without line you go to point it. So you go to use some parameters. So for example, to plot only the markers, you can use shortcut string notation parameter. This one is the O, which means that is the meaning is what? Rings. To plot only the markers, you can use shortcut string notation parameter O, which means rings. Okay. Draw 2 points in the diagram. One at position 1, 3 and one in a position 8, 10. Okay. So first you go to include the two libraries. Then x point equal to np dot array of, y point equal to the same thing, the previous program. Then plot PLT dot plot of this one. Here you mention it which notation you go to use it. So that one is the you are using O, asterisk, star, whatever you symbol you are given, that symbol will be present in this corner and this corner. Then finally you write what? Plot dot show. It is very very important. You didn't give this one, your no output is not displayed. Okay. So first without line, how to you go to draw the line, draw the graph using markers. Okay. So here marker is using O. Okay. So here you see the last starting point, this is the ending point. Without line you are using only the points. Okay. So the next thing, create a label for the plot. So you are only drawing this graph, but you need to know what type of graph, what is the name of this plot. Definitely you know. So that purpose you are creating, that one is the label. So center the heading. Okay. So here you are using the label for the x-axis is x label of, y-axis is y label of. So import numpy as numpy matplot. Here the same program np.array of y equal to np.array of. Here you are using plot x comma y. So finally you write plot x label of, what is the name. So this one is the x label. Here the name will be displayed average plus. This is the y label. So plot dot y label of calories burnage. So that name is displayed here. Finally you give plot dot show off. So here see, this is the x axis name, this is the y axis name. Okay. So the next class we discuss on the remaining one. Thank you.